welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a while since I've done an actual price update on OMI. We're going to do one today, and we're going to look at how OMI is actually doing during this turbulent time in the overall cryptocurrency market. We know that most cryptocurrencies are down at the moment, but how is OMI performing? Now, you guys would have seen most recently where I was showing you guys that OMI has actually remained relatively stable in comparison to the overall cryptocurrency space, and more in particularly the actual NFT and gaming space, and it's currently top 10. Obviously, it did slide today as other NFT projects started to build momentum again. But, and there's a big but here, right? Where is OMI going to go next? So let's get the big screen up. We'll start off with the weekly time frame. One thing I'm happy about is that we whipped right back inside our structure area, which is of course our range between the 61.8 fib and the 38.2 fib, with this being support and this being resistance, right? So this is the range area, and of course this is the short-term target, 1 cent. But let's talk about what's actually happening from a technical perspective. Now, immediately, for those of you that are familiar with technicals, I know you could see a trend line being drawn right across there, and then we're potentially seeing a bounce off the trend line and move back up to the upside. But let's go on the lower time frame and have a smaller perspective on what's currently happening, right? So now we've gone on the 1 day time frame. Now remember guys, the weekly time frame is a time frame we use to have a broader perspective on the overall market trend. So let's just go back again. That's all we're doing on this weekly time frame, right? And that's why whenever I do these analysis videos, you mainly see me break down the chart from that perspective, right? Because we need to see the overall trend, right? Now, the overall trend, as you guys can see, is, I would say, prices ranging currently. Obviously, this was quite clearly bearish, but now we're picking up on a bullish momentum. So the trend right now in the short term is bullish despite this pullback here. So now let's go on the daily time frame, and this is a time frame where if we were day trading this or looking for an entry, this would be that time frame to look at to do so, right? So we would look at our daily time frame to do so. Now, what can we see happening? First things first, we can see a double bottom pattern here, and which is incredible because it's forming on the actual 61.8 fib area, which of course is very important. As you guys know, that's our area of support, right? So it's good news, and we've got a hammer at this area as well, right? So let's just zoom out quickly. Whoops. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go on the 4-hour time frame so we can have a, there we go. So on the 4-hour time frame, I guess things look a bit more messy. To be honest with you, I'm going to do this on a trading view chart just so it's clearer for everybody else watching this. Let's go on a OMI. There we go. We'll do on the Sendex. There we go. So let's look at this on a trading view chart. So number one, the first thing that you guys can see is this, right? This trend line. This is what all technical traders are looking at the moment. They're looking at this trend line area here. And of course, they're paying attention to this. Again, false breakout to the downside and then price whip back in. However, as you guys can see from my chart, and I'll go back on the weekly here, I feel like that can't just be the only perspective. And the reason why, here's the reason why I wouldn't just look at this from a trend line, just a pure trend line move, because we could see this occur, right? We can see, and this is what a lot of people are ignoring, is these fib areas, this structure area, this range, right, that we've seen price range against. So therefore, for us, that has to be the main focus. So, for example, this could be simply, worst case scenario here, this could simply be obviously bullish move downwards move, impulse move to the upside, and then of course a rejection of the 61.8, which is here, and then of course a move right back down to the downside. Now of course I do not think that's gonna happen as long as we stay above the structure area. Of course, let me just change the color of this, make that blue. That's essentially worst case scenario, right? But of course I don't believe that will occur, especially as we are maintaining area of structure. And I'm just going to draw that in. And also guys, at this stage, I mean, the chart is so early, you can't apply that much fundamental. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't be looking at RSIs for this or anything like that. I would be looking at raw technicals, raw support, resistance. That's it. And obviously fib. I wouldn't be using anything else. But this is what we are anticipating occurring here. And remember the structure area. Of course, this is in confluence with a trend line, which is good news because it usually indicates a massive bullish move. But this is, let me just get out the drawing tool for you guys. But this is what we anticipate to happen, right? And especially if the market starts to take off range, then we retest the top of structure, which was of course the 38.2 fib area. So I'll make that green because obviously this is best case scenario. Okay, we'll just leave that green here. And I'm drawing a structure area here. And for those of you that may be confused, I'll go back to my other chart in a second. So let's just draw that in. So remember what I said at the start of this video. These are the main two areas we're looking at. The 61.8 and 38.2, because this is the range, right? And this is where we want to focus on, right? The trend line, yes, the trend line here is important, but it's not as important as the range, because guess what, guys? Even if we do get back into this area, we still have mini support areas, resistance area, which is around this area as well. So that's why, of course, we're waiting for a break of this area, and then of course to target that 1 cent, so we can see that, parabolic move to end the year. But let's just conclude by what is the catalyst holding this kind of move back. Now, believe it or not, the actual, IMX, etc. I don't believe that's holding back a move like this, right? Because let's be honest, this isn't a huge move. And if we want to compare it to the parabolic move it had at the start of the year without any real exchange listings or anything of that nature, we can't say that an IMX listing or Binance listing is holding price back from moving up to 1 cent. I mean, that's laughable. That's very, very laughable considering, that is only a 65% move. Now I say only, remember this is a cryptocurrency space, so that's not a huge move, right? So it's not the IMX listing that we're waiting for that. The IMX listing is what's going to take price beyond that 2 cent area, etc. So that's a story for another day. But I believe we can hit this area before the end of, obviously I do have my end of year price prediction available in our Crypto Crew Premium channel. You guys can join that. It's tagged, it's pinned. So of course, if you want that, you can obviously sign up using the link in my description. But just short term, I do believe the 1 cent area being hit is an inevitability, right? I do not see price going back down. However, we do have to keep an eye on structure, right? If price clears structure, we're going to go lower, right? Whether that happens for a second, whether that happens within 15 minutes, or it happens over a few weeks, right? If structure is broken, we are going to have to find new support, right? So let's conclude this video, right? Let's conclude this video. Of course, guys, I haven't done you know, an update like this in a while. If you're still watching now, you know, great job. We're gonna get more into this, but I want you to comment below. Do you want to see more of my OMI technical update videos? Let me know. We posted one in our Telegram channel this morning. You can actually join that by clicking the link in my description right now. Pause the video, do that, and that's where you can stay up to date with all our recent updates, news updates, technical updates, and much more. So do that right this second. But yeah, I mean, personally, right now, we're in no man's land. We're simply ranging. I guess if I didn't, and I say this all the time, if I didn't own any of this project, I would be buying now. I mean, even if Bitcoin does fall further, I don't think OMI is going to fall dramatically, to be honest with you. I think it's just going to range, do what it's been doing over this market downturn, quote unquote. But yeah, let's stay tuned. Let's see what happens. Remember, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, smash the bell notification icon so you can stay up to date with all my recent updates. Remember, nothing that you saw in this video was financial advice, so always make sure to do your own independent research. And if you want to take your trading to a whole new level, we just post another 100x gem in our Crypto Crew Premium channel, available right now, link in the description. Then I would suggest you join us today. But we're going to do a lot more updates when it comes to price action. But if you want it for OMI, you're going to have to vote below. Let me know. Do you want to see more technical videos for OMI? Vote below. With that being said, guys, see you on the next update and seize the day.